Okay. So I mowed the backyard. Here's my pretty flowers. I watered them this morning. This is a lemon bush, and it's growing big time now that I've got it replanted. And here's my orange bush, orange tree actually, and it's growing big time since I replanted it. There's my hammock. I mowed out there as far as I could till I hit rocks, and then I mowed around this little tree here, mowed back around for a little ways. Now I've got to go over here where all this high grass is and get all the rocks out of the way so I can mow over there. And then see, over there's the pet cemetery also. Another reason why I'm trying to keep it cleaned up. It's my pet cemetery. Crispy and Original, and one of the baby puppies had passed away. My motor passed away, and Shakey's was a weenie dog, and he was so old, he passed away too. My Mo, I named him Mo, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. You know, I got Itty and Bitty, and I named him Mo. Chiquita was supposed to be Minnie. It was going to be Itty Bitty, Minnie, and Mo, but somehow her name got changed, so I had my Mo. He was gray-haired, he was gray hair and hairless, and he had a heart condition, and he passed away last July. So he's laid to rest over there with Shakey's. Shakey's is a weenie dog. He was 18. He was old, getting blind and deaf. I'll go over there and show you the headstones I made. I still got to make some for the chickens, but I hadn't done that yet. Here's my rose bushes. There's my rose bush here. My rose bush over there. Here. And I still got to clean all the rocks, kind of move them to the side so I can get over there and mow. And this is for drainage. I don't know what the heck, but anyway. My backyard looks really pretty. I was cleaning the chickens' water earlier and food. And also I've been stacking wood, see. I still have a pile right there to stack up, but that's oak, and that over there is cedar. And then of course I still have the big piles that I've got to cut up, and I've got to split them. That's the splitter. There's some long pieces in there, so anyway, before the sun goes down, you can see pretty much where I mowed. Still got all this to kind of clean up. There's some big rocks over in this area I need to get moved, but I mowed all that in the backyard, and of course the front. Well, I'll show you the front real quick, but I wanted to show you the chickens. Chicky puss! Hi, babies! Hi, Berta! Hi, Original! Bark, 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 bark. Burr. Yeah, I know. Well, I love you. Yeah, you do. Well, I'll get you out in the morning. Y'all can run around the yard all day, like you did today. Yeah, it's nighttime and I worry about you, so you gotta stay in here for nighttime. Okay? And I'll let you out in the morning. You can go run around the yard, okay? Okay. I love you. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night. Silly girls. I accidentally left the water on and I flooded. I put it on the tree and it flooded. And it ran down. Over there's the greenhouse. Let's go over here real quick while I'm on this side. Sorry about the bouncing. There's a lot of rocks to stumble over. And I'm not the most graceful ballerina. So, see, there's rocks and rocks. Big rocks, little rocks, 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 rocks everywhere. Rock, rock. See, some of these rocks I managed to go over, but there's pretty big rocks. Like that big rock pile right there. There's some of them big ones right in there that I've got to clean up a little bit, move out of the way. I don't want to damage the lawnmower. Like, I'm surprised there's this big one right here. I'm surprised I actually went over that one. I've got to come back over here with the weed eater and cut the rest of this down right here at Shaky's grave. See, he's got a bunch of grass growing out of the middle, and I can't get the lawnmower out there because of the rocks. So I'm gonna have to come over here with the weed eater and clean it all up for him. And then over here, this is where Spicy and Original are. And then Tiny Tim, I think, is on this side. And here's my Momo, my motor. He was my favorite because he was gray and he was hairless. He was the only gray baby. I miss him so much. Kind of messed up on his name, but I did it in black and it kind of smudged, and so I went back over it in red and it kind of, I don't know, all ran together, but you can still tell that it's an M. It's just kind of dark right now. But that's my motor. That's where he's buried. And any other animals, they'll be probably put along here too. I like the shade. I like the fact that, you know, it shades over here and it's nice. So I want to try to keep it cleaned up so I can come visit when I want to. But see, there's still a lot of rocks and stuff, big rocks in here that I'm going to have to hand pick and pull out so I can mow. But I mowed back off this way. Sounds like somebody's going down the side road there. And I still got to mow all this. There's a big rock. It's all tall. See, there's a bunch of rocks here that I've got to get picked out. Big tree branch. I planted this oat, and so now I need to mow it down because it's all starting to die. I planted it for deer or whatever, animal. And now it's all, and see where the spots are, it's where there's big rocks I gotta get cleaned up. See, there's lots of big rocks through here. Don't want to tear up the lawnmower. So, ow, those are prickly plants. And there's a bunch of rocks here I've got to get moved so I can fix. I want to take some of the rocks and make something around the trees here. And that's the front yard. It needs to be mowed too, but I've got to go through there and get some of the big rocks out. I want to take some of the rocks and just make a thing around so when I water it stays, you know, around the roots and stuff. But yeah, there's not very much topsoil around here. You dig up, I mean, you can see how the soil is. I mean, that's as much soil as you get, and then it turns into rock. And that is hard rock because it's limestone. See, this is the runoff. Oy. It's still kind of muddy from it when it rained, but that goes down that way because when I need to get another septic tank probably. I hadn't decided yet, but anyway, it's not my decision. Look at the pretty sunset. That's the tree I overwatered today. I laid down, took a nap, forgot about it, so it ran. Made a big old mess. Glad we're on well water. See how I did this? I moved all the big rocks and the little rocks away from the tree so I could mow the tall grass. I hadn't mowed that one yet, but I did this one. I'm not going to leave it that way, but I'd like to put some rocks like right where the grass, you know, comes to, and then that way, you know, it's right there around the tree and it keeps the water. I still got to mow all that back there and all that over there and by the well house and the chicken coop. I mowed the front. Maybe we'll have time to run up front real quick, but that's my greenhouse. There's my youngins. And this is my romaine lettuce. I'll come out here and pick some leaves off the lettuce tree. Of course, it's starting to die because it's getting too hot. And there's my cabbages. They were real pretty, but now I've got some. I think it's cabbage spider eating them, but I've got some blooms coming off on that one. Some balls. There's some blooms on there. Each one's making more blooms. It's just I've got spray in here, and I really don't want to spray chemicals, so I'm trying to find a safe. I'm gonna plant some okra here, I think, right here in these 3 rows, and probably I'll cut the big stems off where it's sprouted. Or what do they call that? I had a tip of my tongue, but anyway, I'm gonna probably take all the leaves and all that part off and just leave the stem still, and it'll die off, but the roots will stay alive until it gets wintertime again. This is radishes. These are my radishes. I don't know if you can see that. They're huge. I mean, they're big, huge. No, you can't see that. Anyway, you can tell by the plants that they're pretty big. Let's see. sun's going down too much. But this is radish here, radish there. This is my watermelon plant. I got watermelon blooms all over. I know you can't probably see that now. That's watermelon, watermelon. That's all watermelon. I got 3 or 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 watermelons. And this is cherry tomatoes here.